Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, what's going on? This is Crystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game, and you are here with me on today's Fitness Friday, where we are honing in on Mental Health Awareness Month. We got to talk about it. If you're here with me now, say hey, let me know that you're here. If you're catching this on replay, do me a favor and type replay in the chat. But I want to bring this conversation to you all because um I'm very open and transparent about how important I feel mental health is, and how we have to be intentional about protecting it and strengthening it, right? I tell you all the time, I go to therapy every 2 weeks. I love it, because life be life, right? But in addition to that, and y'all gotta forgive me, all of a sudden my glasses feel dirty. But in addition to that, there is a link and a correlation between depression, okay, and weight, right? So many people struggle with both. And today I want to talk to my people who didn't even realize that there was a correlation. And so we're going to talk about how one impacts the other. So depression could impact your weight, and your weight could impact depression. So we're going to talk about both sides. All right. So if y'all here with me now, you ready for type of one in the chat to let me know you ready. If you have your water, drink up, because we're about to get into it. And I'm going to try my best not to keep y'all too long, but this is something that is near and dear to me. Okay. So let's talk first about, well, let me ask you this, if y'all don't mind. I'm going to ask the question: how many of you have a therapist? And I'm asking that question. Hey, Miss Carla, I'm asking that question, and I'm being vocal about it and bold about it because I want us to destigmatize getting therapy. Like, real talk. You have a doggone mechanic, you have a dentist, an orthodontist. You'll go see all these other specialists, but people are afraid to say that they go to therapy as if that means something's wrong. Sometimes you just need a tune up. You're correcting something that's a little off or feels off. Not that it is off, it feels off, and you want help. My co-host, I believe it was my co-host, somebody I just spoke to recently, made a very good, oh no, it wasn't her. I was having a conversation with somebody else about this the other day. So we were talking about mental health. And I love this analogy. So I'm borrowing it and I'm letting y'all know this wasn't mine, but I'm going to continue using it in the future as if it is. But she said, if you're random, if you're normally healthy, right? And something happens where you're in an accident and you hurt your leg or you hurt your back or your shoulder, you'll go to PT, right? You'll go to physical therapy to get your body back in the shape that it had been before. So why not go to a mental therapist to do the same for your mind? I was like, that is exactly it. It's not like you have to go all day, every day. Some people, I go every 2 weeks. Some people go once a month. Some people may go quarterly. But I say all this to say we have to protect our mental health. Okay? Ain't nothing wrong with it. So if you have a therapist, let us know. Shout out to you. Kudos to you for doing what's needed. For anybody who has not gotten one yet and you've been thinking about it, you're on the fence, I highly encourage you to go. All right. So with that being said, let's get to it. And that's how interesting. I didn't even mean to, but the correlation. How many of y'all know what this is or who this is? This is my mug for the day. This is from a show called Ted Lasso. Another one of some tea. And the show itself is just hilarious. I love it. Jason Sudeikis did a masterful job with it. But the show highlighted mental health. Turns out he was having anxiety attacks. So while we're not talking about that today, I just thought it was interesting that I had that mug. But let's talk about depression specifically and our weight. When you are depressed, it could trickle into weight gain because your appetite could change, whether you're eating more, you're doing more emotional and stress eating, or some people, we were talking about, I did a challenge this week, talked about how when they're stressed, they don't eat as frequently, right? And even that, a lot of people overlook how skipping meals, and I do mean meals like for an extended amount of time, can slow down your metabolism, which makes it easier for you to gain weight when you do eat, right? And when you're depressed, it could impede your activity level. So you don't even have the energy to get up. You don't have the desire to move. So now you're more stagnant and more sedentary. And again, slowing down your metabolism, possibly eating. And so you're not burning the calories that you would typically burn. So now you're gaining weight, right? Now let's talk about the other side. If we're starting at being overweight or obese, how that can lead to depression. When we're overweight, obese, a lot of people who are in those categories struggle. You know what? I'm gonna say this, but then I'm gonna back on up. A lot of the people in those categories struggle with body issues, right? Body image issues. And I'm saying that, but then I'm backing up because most people do, whether they're average size, normal size, underweight, whatever. I don't think I know anybody who walks past the mirror and says, my body is perfect, I don't want to change a thing. I don't. If y'all know somebody, if that's you, kudos to you. Kudos to you. But everybody has some type of body image issue, right? But when you're overweight and or obese, it can be worse, right? Because we see these standards of beauty all around us, and when you feel like you don't fit, now there's this fear of being judged, this fear of being looked at as if you don't care. Just all of these things is such a stigma around being overweight as well. People think you don't care. People think like it's just so many different things that go around it, right? So now those things could lead to depression because of those things, because you feel like you don't fit, you have body image issues. So now you're possibly changing your social habits because you don't want to be around people. So now you're possibly even lonelier, leading to depression. All right. So it's interesting how they can go like crossroads, go back and forth. Well, this is a crossroad, but one can lead to the other and the other can lead to it. Right. So we have to make sure that we are protecting both. So, what are some things that you can do? If you're on this side where you may notice that you've had depression that led to weight gain, we got to work on and address the depression, address this and this, right? Because what I absolutely know is that when these are together, everything else falls into place, right? It just does. So, some things that we can do, and I say we because I'm in this with you. Yeah. um, Making sure that we are finding ways to be more active. I've said it. I don't even know how many times I've said it. And guess what? I ain't done. I'm going to say it again. Exercise is the best, but the most overlooked and underused stress reliever there is. It just is. Hands down. Hands down, it is. Well, I should say movement, getting your heart rate up, feeling, getting that breathing up. Those things help to reduce cortisol, increase dopamine, uh, get that adrenaline up. Those things that are going to make you feel good. And you don't have to do a lot. You really don't. You only need about 30 minutes a day. And that's any type of movement. Yeah. And that's why I switched from exercise to movement. You don't have to go out there and run a marathon. You don't have to lift crazy weights. You don't have to do a spin class. You don't have to do a boot camp class. You can walk. You could skate, you can ride a bike, you could dance, you could work in your yard, you can do all of those things. Just move your body, they all count. Doing those things can help with the mental, right? Now, of course, it's not just about movement. A lot of people don't realize how and what you eat also impacts that. But with all of this, the first key is acknowledgement, right? Realizing, like, okay, my head and my heart feel heavy. They don't feel like I want them to feel. Yeah. So acknowledging that first and being okay with sitting in your feelings, sitting in your emotions, and then saying, okay, how do these emotions impact how I eat? Am I eating a lot? Am I choosing? Because what we know is that when we're stressed, you're not craving salmon and broccoli, right? You're craving those high fat, salty foods. So now taking inventory of what your feelings are and how it impacts your food, and start practicing some mindful eating to say, okay, I'm in my feelings. I'm in my feelings. And boy, I want a bacon double cheeseburger with some bacon jam and jalapenos and all this stuff, cheese fries, because forget it, I'm having a bad day. But know that the more you do that, the more weight you could possibly gain. You're more than likely going to gain. And that's not what you want. So make it, and I'll say this with all of these suggestions, make one at a time. Make small adjustments at a time, because when you try to add a lot of things at once, that in itself can add even more stress, and we don't need that. All right. Also, something that's super important to make sure that you're taking care of this, you gotta sleep. You gotta sleep. You gotta sleep. Go to bed. Go to bed. Because sometimes when people are depressed, they either can't sleep or they sleep a lot, right? So making sure that you get rest can also help to reset your hormones, which will also help with your mood. All right. So with that, they all sort of go together. As I said, your mindset. But when you're taking care of one, like if you're saying, I'm going to go to sleep, that's helping to reset your hormones, is giving you, helping your mood, is helping to give you more energy to get up and move your body. When you get up and you move your body, get that heart rate up, get that blood flowing, get that oxygen flowing. It helps to increase your mood. So it's like it's a volley between you do one, the other one responds. You do the other one, it responds back. But with this, for my folks who want to lose weight, who are working to lose weight, please know that that sounds harsh to say it's not going to work. This is what I'll say. You'll be more successful if you focus on taking care of this too. You got to have your mindset, you got to have your mind really in the game in order for things to work the way you want them to. You got to. But we can't allow ourselves to sit in either one of them. Real talk, we just can't. If you're depressed, get help. We can't just sit in that. You can't allow yourself to just go further, 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 further down, especially when there are resources, right? Resources may not even mean a therapist that you go to, but there are support groups on this here internets. There are articles you can read. There are videos you can watch. There are a lot of different things that can help with that. Because what I don't want for you is to keep sitting in that depression, and then you keep sitting and eating, and then you're getting bigger and bigger and getting more and more unhealthy. And no, obesity, I'm sorry, being overweight does not equal unhealthy. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. But if you are depressed and you are allowing yourself to just sit and eat and gain weight, you are you're adding to an unhealthy lifestyle. Your numbers ain't gonna look good. Your blood pressure ain't gonna look good. Your sugars ain't gonna look good if you just sitting and eating. And that's facts. It's facts. When you see people who are overweight and the doctors are like, oh my God, your numbers still good, because they're still active. They're still doing other things, right? So we have to move our bodies. And if you are one of those people, let's be real, let's drink some water. we naturally gain 1 or 2 pounds per year, right? That's sort of natural for us as we continue to age. But if you notice that you are gaining weight, especially if you're gaining weight rapidly, not just gaining weight, but if you notice your back is hurting, your knees are hurting more, you're having trouble breathing as you go up and down the stairs, you know when you're getting unhealthier. You know when your clothes, you have to keep buying clothes. You know these things. If you see that happening, I need you to stop and be honest and take inventory and say, wait a minute, I've gained X amount of pounds in the last month. Wait a minute, I've gone up this many clothes sizes, right? You know when it's happening. I can't wear my rings anymore. How many chins do I have now? My clavicle done disappeared. All of these things, you know. Don't allow that to just keep happening. Because it's cool in the beginning. You're like, oh, that's different. I got a little extra pudge. But as it keeps gradually adding up, you could get to a point where you feel like there's no return. Then you beat yourself up, fall into depression. You see how this is a vicious cycle. And I don't want that for y'all. Okay? I don't. So take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your heart, take care of your spirit, so that you can live this longer, healthier, more fulfilling life as opposed to just existing. Nobody just wants to exist. We all want to thrive. Let me know if that's you. Let me, matter of fact, type thrive in the chat if you want to thrive. That's what we want to do. All right. So I'm going to leave y'all be on this Friday. I'm going to leave y'all be on this Friday. But it was on my heart to have that conversation because I want you all to take care of yourself in every way because they do work together. And for anybody who's like, Crystal, I know I need to do it, but I don't know what to do. Please feel free to reach out to me. Check out the programs I have on my site. If you're looking for workout programs, you can go to Finag Programs, FINAGPROGRAMS.com, and check out what I have there and just see if they could work for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me, Taylor at Fitness is not a Game. Oh, hey, says, I realize my weight gain is due to depression. Resources, where are the Black female therapists? I've been searching years for one who accepts my insurances. Unfortunately, I have not. White male and female therapists, Black male as well, help. First of all, sending peace, love, and blessings to you. And thank you for being honest and transparent and reaching out. I will tell you this. So the company that I use is called Open Path Collective. Okay. And I believe it's openpathcollective.org. I believe that's the site. But it's not even about insurance. It's about like your revenue base. So it's not about finding a provider who takes your insurance. You can pay out of pocket, and they're very affordable. My sessions are $65. My son's sessions are $70. And like I said, you can decide how often you want to go, but I like that site because you get to read through and see the therapist that you could possibly choose. And like I've been my therapist now for a little over 2 years, I think 2.5 years. But that was a good resource for me to find therapists. And there were a number of Black females because I was the same way. I specifically wanted a Black female who could understand where I was coming from. Right? She's still outside of my circle, so she's still unbiased. She's still a professional, but I wanted somebody who could get me because I've had a few white female, and it was cool, but it's nothing like having a Black female. And I do that with all my medical providers. When I go to the doctor, my OB-GYN, I want Black ladies. I want somebody who gets and sees me. So I hope that helps for you. And I'm just glad that you're looking to find help. I really am. But that hopefully, I'm not sure what state you're in because you do have to choose based on your state. And you can choose whether you want in person or if you want virtual. I do everything virtual. But hopefully that can help for you. All right. So great question. Great question. Anybody else with any questions before we wrap it up? And I appreciate y'all for being here. I applaud you for logging in to hear the conversation about mental health, because some people will run just from seeing the doggone title. You're very welcome, but I'm glad that you're here. So, y'all take care of yourself. I just want you to be healthy. I just want you to be happy. And I just want you to be here. So, I will see y'all next time. All right, y'all. Bye.